All right, hi. Uh, okay, so the big news is I'm going back to LA. I got the job. I'll be working part-time, 3 days a week, but that means I get to continue doing um, my old, my old daily grind. So if you've only found this video and not seen some of the earlier ones or know what I'm up to, basically, I had my own shop down in LA after a dozen years. Work wasn't coming in. The pandemic kind of screwed with me and all that fun stuff. But anyway, I decided to spread my resume in places that were beyond my home, which was LA, and I took a job up in Portland. So 4 jobs later in Portland, the last of the 4 jobs put me under the supervision of a bipolar narcissistic boss. So that expedited my way out. So I'm happy now. I already feel like I have that feeling of being electrocuted from minutes earlier. No longer. So, yeah. Sent a few texts to my closest friends, and they now know I'm coming home. So I've learned a lot. There's a lot of things this place is doing right. Morally, they are taking more money. So I just, I wasn't seeing certain ways to sell myself. So my biggest challenge at this point will be getting back into my own thing with the retail space. What I realized is I can't be successful without a retail storefront. Doing repairs in home, it's physically possible, but I don't think it's practical. And if I was to do my portable business, like set up a van with a bench in the back, that's also possible. But if I get successful, I'm going to need storage real quick. So if I were to go that route, I would need storage to keep machines. I don't know if that's a practical direction. It might still be. I need to think about how that might work, because there's a bench in the back of this van. I haven't quit yet. Technically, I'm going to go all day tomorrow, and then I'll send my resignation letter. So yeah, there's a bench in the back of this van. So one of the ideas, I don't know if I've mentioned online, is setting up a van like this to do house calls in someone's driveway or alongside the street, so that I didn't have the rent bill of a retail space. It's still a potential offer, or a potential option, because obviously a rent bill is expensive, and I would only have to spend maybe several $1,000s on somewhat of a van. I know I've had this conversation with friends, but I don't remember if I've said so on YouTube. So that's where my mind is. I am now no longer going to be yelled at by a 10-year-old who didn't get their Christmas present every morning on the huddle. Yes, that's a relief. And I've actually had a chat with our newest technician, and she knows what's up. And she says she wants to stick it in for a good 2 years. We'll see. She wants to she wants to hold the job for 2 years, but she realizes the sort of stressful that our boss is. So I said, well, maybe you could be the hero and pull him aside and have that chat, that heart-to-heart chat about what an asshole he really is. Because as IT guys are, I can't imagine any one of us guys that has been working with him who's going to be the one that says, hey, dude, you need to chill the hell out. You're an asshole. You should stop yelling at us every morning. She might be the hero he didn't see coming. I don't think I have it in me, even though I've recognized someone needs to point out he is his own enemy. When you're a good boss, you are not a micromanager. Now, I'm a fairly senior tech. I was directing our newest tech, who is a junior tech, very politely. And I wasn't giving her any grief for not having knowledge. I was making it a point to show her how to do things. Here, I just came on an issue you're only going to see 10% of the time. Let me show you what's going on. That's all you need to be a good boss. You need to be trusting of your employees. You need to trust that they're going to get things done and stop micromanaging. The micromanaging only puts people on edge and makes people, because you're on edge, make mistakes. He's not that self-aware. I think he's a undiagnosed, narcissistic, bipolar individual. And because narcissists don't think they have any issues, they don't see a problem with the way they see the world. They also are not usually, I guess in rare circumstances, they can be self-aware, but they usually aren't. So they don't self-reflect. And that's the poison that we all have to deal with. You can either avoid it or you can avoid it. Explaining it to the monster doesn't usually fit. I can't imagine it ever fixes it. The professionals say you can't explain a fix to the narcissist. But here we are. You'd think after losing countless numbers of technicians, he would get the clue. So, here we are. I'm coming home to LA. I'm going to spend this weekend gathering my things, piling all my prized possessions in the car, and driving home this weekend. Well, so I don't have to be at work until Friday. Technically, the start date is next February 6th, but I have to get badged up because it's a highly secure environment, because it's the LAX Airport. So I'm thinking this is the best route because my boss recognizes what it's like to be a sole proprietor, because he recognized what it means to be very busy or not so busy, the feast or famine mentality. He understood it. So he thought I would be a good fit, probably before even calling me, because he recognized, oh, good. So now he could supplement his income on his days off, 3 days a week. And if my days are otherwise not busy, those would be my other real days off. So I'm not working a 7-day week. Obviously, my failing business isn't going to keep me busy 4 or 5 days a week. So if I have 2 or 3 jobs a day, 2 or 3 days a week, that's a day or 2 off a week. So I think the fact that the boss already understands what I'm up to, and this feels good, and I'm sure it feels good because I know I'm not going to get yelled at anymore starting next week. I'm putting 1 more full day in tomorrow, and then that afternoon I'll send my resignation letter. I was thinking of, in the resignation letter, as an excuse not to give a 2-week notice, due to my generous bonus, I'm expected to start sooner than later and therefore unable to give a 2-week notice. Now, frankly, I'm not giving a 2-week notice in part because my boss is a jerk and I don't know that he deserves one. And I don't care. That's weird. The light in this van just goes out and that's weird. You can't turn it back on. Weird. Anyway. Yeah, so I'm going to do a letter. I'm going to say, due to my generous bonus, I'm asked to start sooner than later and therefore cannot give you a 2-week notice. Once I put it in writing, I'm going to blind carbon copy my fellow technicians just because I want them to know I quit. I have a feeling that my boss might try to say he had to fire me, but if I blind carbon copy everyone will know the truth. I don't think anyone will assume that I got fired anyway, because we all know I'm looking for work and I'm not happy. we lost the other guy because he wasn't happy. So, yeah, just to have it on record, I'll blind carbon copy a few people so that everyone that knows me here knows that I left at my will, not the boss's. So I'll have more thoughts to share later, but that's what's on my immediate thought. It is now the end of the day at around 5:30 or so. I'm going to gather my things, make sure I don't leave any of my own material items at the shop because I don't plan on coming back next week. Quite frankly, I can drive down in 2 days, be in LA, but I don't want to do that. The 5 is a boring drive. I don't want to spend 2 days doing it. I want to take my time the way I took my time coming up. That's the idea. So, more updates to come. I'll let everyone know what's up.